tell y'all that AJ Brown will be traded. And it's not a coincidence about Myles Garrett, but we'll get into that next. But this is definitely breaking news. AJ Brown traded to the New England Patriots with Mike Vrabel, which is somebody he's very familiar with. They played a few years together. I think three to be exact. I mean exact, not sure. But I think it definitely is about 3 years. So Mike Vrabel is very well aware of AJ Brown and you know what he's getting himself into. But can we all just be honest and say AJ Brown has turned into the actual Terrell Owens of the league, so to speak, uh, versus the image that everybody put on Terrell Owens? Correct? Can we all just agree to that? If because far as the diva persona that he perceives and every team he started towards his last years of Tennessee, which is the reason why he was traded. It's not always financial, but he was specifically traded because he started acting like a diva, started doing diva things, and started, really disrupting the locker room, similar to what he just done in Philadelphia. Um, they won a championship, and yet he still found a way to try to be the center of attention, or at least be the problem. That's more to say in itself. That team could have been rebuilt. I think that team suffered because of the conflict in the locker room, the back and forth, the steady pointing at your quarterback, and the fact that Smith wasn't able to flourish as a wide receiver, even though he was great. He should be the wide receiver one. The criticism that AJ Brown gave Jalen Hurts constantly, and then he turns around and because he said he wasn't getting the ball enough, and then you go around in the biggest game to get you all to where you need to go, and you drop three passes, three very 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 easy catchable passes, far as a NFL wide receiver case, and he dropped all of them. So yeah, so I think so. What they get is, let's see, bring this up so we can see exactly what they get in trade. And the Philadelphia Eagles receive a 2028 first round pick and a 2027 fifth round pick for AJ Brown. And of course, it do you think it's worth it? Who knows? I think AJ Brown has maybe a couple years left. If anything, he doesn't have to be a one. He can go to a two or three slot receiver, something like that. Big. He's still gonna be able to do his thing right now. But it's just the point of keeping his mind, his mental into it. But I do think this is possibly a good trade for the Philadelphia Eagles because you get that conflict off your team. You get that interruption at your locker room, that cancer out off your team, and you send them to New England where it's helpful for AJ because Vrabel is familiar with AJ. They play together. He know what the expectations is coming in, and it's a contender. So he's not leaving a contender and going to somewhere where he'll waste away. He's going from a contender to a contender. So it's good for AJ, and it's also good for Philadelphia Eagles because they can work on certain things that they need, and they can go ahead. They did draft the wide receiver at the draft, so that'd be fine. Okay, so let's go into this Myles Garrett trade, which a lot of people are up question about. And I think honestly, I think this is actually a good trade. I think it's a great trade, both ways around. The Rams are looking to do some things around now. They had a young edge, but you bring in Miles, who's a veteran edge, who's an absolute monster right now. Is a problem, and you bring him in automatically. The only thing you got to worry about now is your secondary staying intact. But I think that the Rams have a pretty good defense, and then you add Myles Garrett, it makes it real scary. And I think they just need to slow the ball down. Myles Garrett, 4 or 5 sacks a game, maybe three, and his edge rushing pressure absolutely does that for them. Now the Browns, however, I think they really won in this situation, far as what they're building. Don't know who they're building around, but far as what they're building, I think they actually won in this situation because they receive Jared Verse. He's the edge. He's early in his years. I think he's 25 to be exact, somewhere up in there. So he's early in his years. He's about to hit his peak. And then they get a 2027 first round pick and a 2028 first round pick. So they got some great building steps for it. I don't know which quarterback they're gonna build around or whatever, but either which way it goes, they got built, they have steps to build. Uh, Great steps to be exact. You lost the edge, but you get a younger edge. And Miles Garrett is in his declining years. Uh, as you know, 30, 31, 32 for edges. Football players in general NFL football players, they tend to start, going downhill from this point. You can still produce great. He can still be great, but realistically, we know Father Time always wins. It's best to get you know, a young edge right now that's very impactful. He's gained a little bit of experience now. He's ready to go. And then you got those first round picks. So I think the Browns are stacking because you could trade those first round picks off, and you can get something right now if you needed to, at whatever the situation may be, or you could hold them, and you come in next year and you can work around. It's ways for the Browns to work around this. I just think the Browns need to figure out their quarterback situation. So for all the people that think it's just a bad situation to get rid of Miles Garrett, we know he is the staple of that Browns defense, but you're also releasing your salary cap. You cannot afford all that. And I think that you know, it's because of the Deshaun Watson contract. You still got him on the contract and things of that. You can't really afford to hold Miles Garrett, but you can't afford to bring in a young edge rusher, build him up. About time if he flourishes and needs a contract, about time you have to give him a good contract or great contract. Deshaun Watson will be on his way out the door, hopefully, and Shador will be okay with it, or whatever quarterback you decide to use. So I think this is definitely a great trade. Um, AJ Brown, I think it's a great trade for Philadelphia Eagles. You no longer have to have that negativity around you, and I just think it's an all around trade. So what do y'all think? Leave a message in the comment. Don't forget to subscribe and share. We all a family. Mind of a Maniac Sports Media. Y'all know we keep it real.